Well, I want you to hear what this particular white woman says about how white women will always choose whiteness over anything else. Let's go ahead and roll that.
I see a lot of people talking about the affirmative action ruling, and there's a lot of people pointing out that white women were actually some of the biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action. And so people are kind of naturally asking, like, well, like, why did conservative white women vote for things that would take away, people who would take away things that are benefiting them? And I think that there's some things to be discussed here that we don't really talk about very often. One of those things is that regardless of party, white women will, the vast majority of the time, vote whiteness over gender, because we can still receive the runoff of the benefits that white men get or give themselves when they're in power. So white families will still benefit, and we might not make the same amount of money that white men make, and we might have our right to choose birth when we want to ripped away, but we will still always be the beneficiaries of white men in power. And so when we look at the way white men have structured our society to treat people who aren't white, we think, well, I don't want that. Like, this isn't great, but it's not that. And this applies to liberal women as well. We will continuously see women, even liberal women, voting against their own interests because their primary identifier is white, and the thing that gives them the most privilege in this country is their relationship to white men. And the interesting part about that, even beyond this, is that white men kind of, as a whole, only really care for white women to the extent of what we can do for them. So the whole dynamic is like pretty up, but yeah, just something that I don't think we really talk about very often.